Sarah.
And I'm David. And we're talking about Big Brother.
Okay, just real quick. I'm going to do a PSA, David.
Please.
Look, the feeds are hard to watch right now. A lot of people have reached out and been like, ah.
What do we do?
I agree. And in those moments, I just want to remind you to go outside. Take a break.
Yes.
Watch a Hallmark movie. Whatever it is that you need to do just cleanse.
Yes.
And then remember, the karma's quite the queen, and these people have to live with themselves. And so that's my PSA.
That's a great PSA because it has been a difficult few weeks on Big Brother, and this cast is not doing it for me. It's not doing it for a lot of people so far. But I still, like Sarah was kind of alluding to, I am holding out hope.
Yes.
That something's gonna happen and that things are gonna get mixed up. I'm not giving up on this season yet. Okay?
Right. Let's remember that casting is another thing.
Yeah.
And we can't do anything about it. Here we are.
What's done is done.
We're here.
Yeah.
So let's move forward with what we have and see what happens.
Right. Yes. That's all we can really do, you guys.
Yes.
So we're starting, what are we going to do here? We're going to recap.
Start with Sunday's episode.
Yes.
Then we'll dive into all the spoilers that have happened over the weekend.
Oh my God, there are a lot. At the beginning of Sunday's episode, we are dealing with the fallout from the Hinky vote that Jackson threw, right?
Right.
Nobody's really freaking out about it.
No.
In other seasons, people would have lost their minds that it was a 10-1 vote.
Fessy, who flipped?
Yeah. But these people are like,
who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah.
It was one vote.
Someone tried something, whatever, move on.
The only person who, well, there are two people who really care about it. Nicole, because Nicole knows that she's going to get framed for it.
On her.
And Jackson, because he's the one who organized the whole thing.
Yes.
So he immediately is like going to Nick, and he's like, how about that Hinky vote? I think it was Nicole. I think we got to watch out for her.
Yep.
We got to send Nicole home.
Yep.
He is going hard for Nicole.
Which, ironically, he did it thinking he was going to pin it on Nick or Bella. Like, that was his master plan.
And then Nick wins HOH.
And then, whoops, okay, so I guess I'm going to move over to Nicole being the person.
Yes.
But anyway, ultimately, even Nick was able to see through this.
Right, because, like, Jackson is just going so hard on this, and it's because he did it.
It's so out of character.
He's trying to cover his tracks, right? Because he's just like, I gotta make sure that nobody suspects me. But then, like, thank goodness, eventually in the show, they're like, Jackson is talking about this so much. Like, clearly he did it, right? Like, everybody eventually sees through it, and I was getting a little frustrated in this Sunday episode because I was like, Jackson is the only person talking about the Hinky vote.
Yeah.
Tell me that these people are catching on to this. Like, when you're talking about something so much, eventually, like, thou doth protest too much.
Ooh, yeah.
Clearly you are the culprit, but people do eventually see through that. But Nicole is still stressed out, and we see conversations with Nick where Nick is like, I think people are trying to frame you, and she's like, yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
Like, of course this is being pinned on me, but Nick is assuring her, like, no, I promise you, I will not put you up.
And this is legitimate. This is real.
Yeah.
I was actually not horrified by the edit of Sunday's show because that's what happened.
Yeah. We also see a little bit of the, like, fight between Bella and Kemi that we already talked about in our previous video.
Yeah.
I thought this was also well edited.
Yeah.
Because I think CBS has not done Kemi a lot of favors so far.
I was really worried about this.
But I thought she came out of this looking pretty calm, considering like Bella was coming at her pretty hard.
Right. They showed a lot of it, just about all of it. And that's really all we can ask for with this edit, because CBS did not do kindly towards Kemi previously, so I was glad that it wasn't just like sliced up to make Kemi look horrible.
Eventually we get to this place where Kemi is talking to Nicole, right? And Kemi's saying, I may be in Camp Comeback, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from playing the social game. So she is now alerting Nicole to the fact that Christy overheard Cliff talking, and Christy now knows about this Fellowship of the Zing Alliance.
First off, finally!
Yeah, I know.
You guys were friends before all of this. Why didn't...
What took you so long?
Yes.
Yeah.
But she does give her that information, thank goodness.
Thank goodness. And then we see Nicole go to Cliff and kind of like relay this information.
Nicole waited the whole night. I was like, Nicole, run right now. Tell Cliff so he doesn't do it in the morning. She waits till the next morning, but it was just like a nice little like subtle hey. And what we don't see in the episode is that Cliff goes immediately to work. Like, he needed to have that information, and then, like, he tries to do damage control.
Damage control, right.
Several days too late. But.
Yes. Then, eventually, like, Kimmy gets her camp comeback outfit, which is, like, a cute little moment. She, like, kind of falls when she comes out with the camp comeback
I was like,
outfit.
is the universe conspiring against Kimmy? Like, why?
Honestly.
She's had one of the roughest nights of her life, and then, boom, she has to fall.
Like, bites it.
Oh, my gosh.
There was a little bit of, like, CBS throwing in an editing misdirect, and they want us to think that maybe Nick could be led to target some other members of Grateful, right?
Yes. They show Sam kind of bring it up at one point.
Yeah.
They show Nicole giving some information to Nick
she's
and
saying
Bella.
that, like, Sis and Christy are maybe saying that you guys are bullies, and then Nick and Bella are kind of pissed about that, so we're thinking, oh my god, like, is Nick gonna make a big move against his alliance?
No, of course he's not.
No.
But here is something they didn't show that I was excited about on the feeds, was that Nick said, if I win the Whacktivity power, and it allows me to sort of hijack my own HOH, and I could anonymously go after the Jacks, I'd do that. And so then I was like, Nick for Whacktivity!
Yes, yeah.
Let's see it. Let's see if he's a man of his word, or all talk, or what.
But does that happen?
It doesn't happen.
No.
We do see the Whacktivity.
We do.
Comp.
Yes.
Roaches.
Yes.
Now, David, when I heard, okay, the feeds come back from it actually happening, you know, we don't get to see it on the feeds, but we get to hear Christy talk about it.
Oh, wow.
Forever.
Oh, my God.
She retold about these roaches, and
crawling all over her body.
Envisioned this comp to be some sort of, like, mass roach thing where you had to, like,
swim.
basically swim
like,
through
Christy is, like, dropped into a vat of roaches.
That's what it sounded like. So when I saw that it was just a tray of
like
them,
a tabletop.
And no,
just
do we
scoot 'em
want to
aside.
touch roaches? No, we don't.
No.
But this does not mean that she was like this. I felt them up I was like, oh my god.
And listen, it's easy for us to watch this and be like, just scoot the roaches, right? I'm sure if I were faced with a tray of roaches,
it's gross.
I would also be horrified. But it's like, CBS is not gonna make you put your hands in this, like, tray of dangerous creatures. Like, clearly the roaches are harmless.
They're harmless.
So just scoot them to the side and shut up, okay?
No, oh my god, I just couldn't believe that it was just that.
The one thing with the Whacktivity comp that I honestly would have been caught up on is the one thing that Nick complained about over and over on the feeds is this Julie situation, right? Like, I definitely would have been like, Diamondy, like Rocky, Jemmy, Stony. I would not have thought Jewel. Which, that's how they complicate this competition. Like, good for CBS for making it a little bit challenging.
Yeah, they figure it out.
Because not everyone is Sis who spells Julie July, right? Like, not everybody is that dumb.
July-E.
Yeah, so some people were struggling and there was just no hope, and some people were struggling with this, like, Julie part of the competition.
Right. I mean, unfortunately, Nick's not good at puzzles. And he, ends up just timing out because he cannot figure some things out. Even though, like, the sentence is there.
It's there.
Think about it. What's the sentence?
Just, like, piece together the parts that you can figure out and then fill in the blanks.
Right. But Christy flies through it, even though the roaches were crawling all over her.
Listen, I gotta say, like, not knowing what happened on the feeds, I watched this segment on the show and I was beside myself that I liked Christy in this moment.
Well,
I was like, because I saw Sis just, like, falling on her face doing this. I saw Nick just sort of, like, moping and meandering around and not really trying, and Jess just, like, freaking out about the roaches, and then I see Christy really giving it a go, really trying, right? And then when she gets into the diary room, she just seems so genuinely excited, and I'm like, okay, this girl, like, maybe she didn't know a ton about Big Brother going in, like, it's hard to really know who is a super fan and who's not. Some people are obviously not, but it was just cool to see, like, Christy, she's in the game now. Like, she is so excited about this diamond power of Veto, and, like, I don't know, I was really surprised by myself that I was like, I'm kind of a Christy fan in this moment.
Well, that's lovely, David. She manifested it. She went in as a winner.
Honestly, all you have to do is say the word manifest and I'm back out.
Oh,
like,
no. We had you and then we lost you. Well, we see Christy tell Tommy in the episode. Just about everybody else knows, of course.
Well, by now, yes.
When on the feeds, I was like, man, whoever won doesn't even have to lie because Christy cannot stop talking about this comp.
Yeah.
So that would be the easy. If I had won, I'd just be like, cool, backing out of the room. Let Christy take the floor.
Yes.
She's going to talk about this for hours.
Right.
Awesome. And then she finally walks out and goes into the room to Tommy and is like, I won. And I was like, oh, dang it. Well, that doesn't help me.
Christy is telling Tommy and, they're doing a really good job of hiding how close they are. But of course she tells him. And then Jack comes in the room and
for that moment, she doesn't tell Jack.
Yeah, she does not tell Jack, but Jack just kind of comes out and says that he has the second power.
He does.
Which he had been lying to a lot of people about. Now, Christy did know. She's the one person in the house who knows. But now,
she had already told Tommy, too.
Right, but Jack doesn't know that Tommy knows. But then Jack just comes out and says it, and Tommy, being the Broadway actor that he is like...
played it off flawlessly.
You have the power?
Yes.
What?
Such a good actor.
Yeah.
I love that Jack was so jealous that these people had played a comp and it was all about them, and now it's now we have to figure out who has this third power that he just couldn't. He had to reveal that he had the second power.
Take back that spotlight and say, I had the second power.
What about me? I won one.
Remember when I had the power? I love Christy's move when she's like, I wish I had something like that to offer, but I'm so glad that you do. She is still not telling Jack about this power.
I was proud of her in that moment.
But
that didn't last.
Things change.
Christy's mouth. She can't.
You can't
not.
There's no button on that. Okay? It just doesn't, it doesn't seal.
So let's just get to it because like we said, there's misdirect obviously in every edit. Is Nick gonna do this? Is Nick gonna do that? Well, no, ultimately no. He doesn't feel like he can make a big move yet for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Call it camp comeback, call it that
whatever
he's actually a part of this alliance.
Right.
Bad game player, whatever you want to call it. But he ultimately puts up Cliff and Jess, his original nominees, whatever.
And our worst...
Cliff is their target because Christy overheard Cliff last week and said at that time, Cliff has to go.
Cliff has to go.
And so that is what Nick thinks that he should do for the alliance. And so that's where we leave at the end of this episode.
And our worst fears are confirmed. Nick is the worst possible HOH this week, right? I'm
gonna say this isn't a great HOH.
It's not great. It's not great.
I would love to just point out that this time last year, we were breaking up Brett and Winston. In no way is this too early. This is not early.
It's not early. Put the Jacks on the block.
Just wanted to point that out.
But he won't. He is loyal to an alliance that is not loyal to him. But let's get into that.
Let's dive into the horribleness that happened this weekend.
Woo! And this would be spoilers, right? Spoilers.
Thank you, David.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay. So after Nick wins HOH, and we saw this scene where Nicole tells Nick and Bella some things. Supposedly, it's out of a reaction that Bella had told Nicole that some people were throwing her name out. This happened when the feeds were down, so we can't really understand exactly what happened.
Right.
But Nicole is in a place where she is back to, I don't know where I fit in, I don't know who I trust. And obviously Nick is the HOH, so I'm gonna lean that way.
Totally, and if it's a matter of Bella said this, I believe that. I believe you when you say that Bella said anything, because Bella's always talking about something.
Right. Ultimately, Nicole becomes sort of a target to trash after noms take place because Nick and Bella are sort of fishing for were you guys coming after us? Nicole said these things. Leads the rest of Grateful to be like, well, she also said this. But she had said this. And so they all end up starting to protect themselves because Nicole is saying the truth.
Yeah.
So they're covering their own butts.
Yeah.
And it just kind of gets ugly against Nicole.
Right.
But ultimately, I just want to skip to
I know.
the fact that it makes Nick and Bella look worse. Their game are just destroyed. It's hot garbage. It's no one... They had already wanted to target them, and now it's like, oh yeah, no, we definitely want to target them.
Yeah.
Nicole's not caught in any lies.
No.
She's just caught in the middle of all of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody is making a big show about how dare Nicole say this, but all these people know in the back of their heads that she's telling the truth.
Right.
She has not lied about everything.
Right.
So, or anything for that matter. She's not lied about anything. The 6 shooters, who are like the grateful minus Nick and Bella, are kind of realizing like, well, Nicole told the truth about us, so she's probably also telling the truth about Nick and Bella. So...
And they witnessed the hash out between Nick and Nicole. Like the next day when they finally can talk it through and Nicole's saying this and Nick is saying this and Nicole's saying that, like they're going back and forth, and Nicole held her own so well. I would have just been like an absolute mess.
Oh my gosh.
But you know, Tommy and the Hollies and these people are witnessing that Nicole's not getting caught.
The point is that the 6 shooters are not targeting Nicole because they're like, we don't need to target her. She's telling the truth.
So Nick has now, even though his noms are up, he's like, I want Nicole out. I want to backdoor Nicole.
Right.
And so whoever wins veto, let's use it. Let's get Nicole on the block. Let's get her out. Christy, who we know has the biggest mouth and usually gets her way, is like, I'm not getting rid of Nicole for him.
Right.
No.
Nicole's not lying to us. Why would we vote her out?
I want Cliff out. Like, Cliff is my target. Cliff is going. So from the get-go, we already have like those 2 differences of opinion, but they're like going along with the, you know.
Sure. They're all still one big, grateful, undeniable, whatever it is alliance.
Oh my gosh.
But
names.
There's that, right? Well, then the veto happens.
Yes. We get to the veto, and I don't know how, David. But Kat wins the veto.
Kat wins the veto. Can we just talk about Jess's strategy real quick? Jess gets house guest choice veto, and she picks Christy.
For the 2nd week in a row, Jess's pick is like, what?
Jess.
What?
I need you to get your head in the game, girlfriend.
Well, unfortunately, I don't really have high expectations or hopes.
Not at this point. Not at this point. After you pick Mickey and then Christy to play veto for you, I'm done. I can't. Like, you're not doing anything in this game.
At that point, Christy wouldn't have used the veto because Christy doesn't want to do this.
She wants to get rid of Cliff.
Yeah. But anyway, that's not who wins.
Oh boy. Kat wins the veto. Again.
Kat.
What?
How did this happen? I can't wait to watch it.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm so excited.
Yes. Well, immediately Kat is like, Jess is coming down because she's my girl.
That's her girl. So no talk about game. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Doesn't matter that really people shouldn't use vetoes.
No,
but
that's what we do this season.
We like to take our friends down.
We take our friends down.
For fun.
And nobody really cares because Kat's crazy, right? Kat's not really in any kind of like big alliance. She's got a final 2 with Holly, but she's not.
That's a secret.
That's a secret. She's just there. She's being Kat. She's trying to like get a veto tan on her stomach. Yes. She's not a threat. She's just gonna take down her friend. No big deal.
Right.
I don't get it. This is a whole new way to play Big Brother.
I mean, maybe if that really caused a wrinkle, someone might talk to her, but they were like, whatever. So she takes Jess down. Great. We're still voting Cliff out.
Yeah.
So this morning, this is the morning of the veto ceremony.
Yes.
Christy wakes up in a mood.
She's in a panic.
She has convinced herself that she's going to be backdoored.
And there are several clues that are confirming this theory for her, right?
Clues like Nick asking her how she slept.
What?
These are legitimately, she's sobbing and yelling that she knows she's going to be backdoored because Nick asked her how she slept. Like, she's saying it like that.
Yeah.
Like, and then like doing that look like obvious.
How outrageous it is that he would ask me how I slept.
She is losing her mind, crying. Yeah. Everyone's like, what are you talking about? You're not being backdoored. Yeah. Which is true. Like, this is legitimately just paranoia.
But she's like, Nicole's acting too calm.
Oh, Nicole's too calm. Kimmy
Nick said something about a fire tattoo.
Yeah, like there's so many things that just mean nothing, but she's like convinced herself. I think ultimately she was hoping that she could like cry and Kat would be like, well, then I won't use the veto.
Mm-hmm. But Kat's like, I already told Jess I was going to use it on her.
Yeah, obviously, Kat's not really playing the game. Yeah. She's like, I'm using the veto. It's my TV time. What are you talking about?
Yes.
And they're also like, even if you go up like, even if Nick were dumb enough to backdoor Christy at this point, he doesn't have the votes.
Yeah.
Christy in no way is going.
And people are trying to convince her of that, but you can't. The only person I think who could really talk Christy off this ledge is Tommy. Like, everybody else is like, Christy, you have the votes, like, do the math, but she is just, like, beside herself.
She is. And ultimately, she does go talk to Nick. Like, Kat's talking to Nicole. Like, everyone's sort of trying to investigate, like, is this really happening? Like, this doesn't make sense. And Christy does calm down. There was a moment where I was like, is she so worked up she's gonna use her power right now?
Right.
Oh, we didn't even talk about, like, we didn't really give the specifics, but it is the diamond power of Veto.
Yes, this is not a spoiler.
So a veto ceremony is where she would be able to use it, but would be completely a waste at this point.
A waste.
But she was so far gone. But it does sort of calm down for a minute. She talks to Nick, and we go to the veto ceremony. Kat does use it to take Jess down.
Yes.
Nick does put Nicole up because he legitimately wants to backdoor her.
Yeah.
And we come back, and now Christy is telling everyone in Undeniable about her power.
Yeah. Now, in case you don't know, Undeniable is Grateful plus Sam.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, I don't know where Sam's head is because he knows about Grateful. So if you're in Undeniable, you can't possibly think that's real if you know about Grateful. But I think Sam's just along for the ride right now, and he's trying to make something with Nick and Bella, which is not good. Like, I think Sam could be playing the game a different way to put himself in a better position. But he's really kind of hitching his wagon to Nick and Bella, which is, like, not the right move. So I think he's gonna be in danger soon.
He's hitching like a silent wagon.
Yeah.
He's just like a bystander. He's like, my wagon's just gonna be back here while you guys are just leading down the Oregon Trail. Like, he could have done so much more work to make Nick make a move.
Oh my god.
And then he would have been protected behind, like,
exactly.
It wasn't me.
Nick
you know,
did the
whatever.
move. It was not my move. This was Nick's move.
But he's, you know, he tried to flip the vote for a second, but then as soon as it got heat last week, he was like, no, I'm good, I'm good. Yeah. It's like he just doesn't want to rock the boat, which means he's not really playing the game. And ultimately, whether this becomes a blindside or not this week, and we should talk about the votes, but he's on the outs.
Yeah.
6 shooters are gonna come after Nick and Bella, and Sam is just lumped into it.
Yeah.
So Sam has to stand up, do something.
Yeah.
Like, he can't just sit back and be the 9th of an 8.
No, and you know that you're the 9th of an 8.
Right.
So, like, what are you doing? But whatever. Should we talk about the votes?
Yeah. So far, all this talk has been about they still want to get Cliff out. Nick and Bella and Kat and Jess, I guess, are the only ones who think they're all gonna get Nicole out.
Right.
Everyone in Christy's group is like, well, we're finally gonna do it. No unanimous vote. We're gonna blindside Nick.
Yeah.
We're gonna evict Cliff.
Draw a line in the sand.
Then they'll know, and next week we'll start coming after them. Like, we're ready to do it. But here's the thing. Tommy is the central point.
He is the linchpin, right? Like, he is sort of the decider in all of this because everybody in the house kind of trusts him. So if he wants to flip the vote, he just needs to start to plant those seeds, and I think people will listen to him.
Well, that's what we've seen so far, is that whatever Tommy wants goes. And Tommy is in Christy's ear. Christy's the loudest, so it seems like maybe whatever Christy wants goes, but it's really Tommy.
Christy is Tommy's mouthpiece for sure.
So Tommy has been, like, going along with getting Cliff out, but he's also been like, I don't know. And he's also said, well, maybe we should talk to Nick about if we could all just agree to go after Cliff instead of Nicole, and so that it's not a blindside. So I'm not sold that it's 100% going to be a blindside that Cliff goes, because I know that it's all whatever Tommy wants.
Yeah, right. So it really does come down to whatever Tommy decides, and we have a few days before he
he
has to pull that trigger.
That he doesn't have to press hard right now.
That's right.
He's gonna slowly do his magic.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly sure what that magic's gonna end up being.
Yeah, right. It all comes down to, like, what is best for his game, and I think ultimately it doesn't really have a lot to do with Cliff or Nicole. I think it's the message that will get sent to Nick and Bella by however they vote, and that's what the difference will be.
Is a blindside really okay for his game?
Right.
They keep saying that keeping Cliff in the game, and then if Ovi comes back, that's the danger. That's what they've convinced themselves of. But honestly,
Ovi is not a danger.
Cliff and Nicole, though, are equally connected to Ovi.
Yeah, true.
So they can easily start
point.
to convince themselves of that. That's all they have to do, and then they go off on another way. So I honestly don't know which way this vote's gonna go.
Yeah.
That's just what I've observed.
So lots more things to come on the feeds this week, but it's going to be an exciting eviction episode, I think.
It will be exciting because someone will also come back from Camp Comeback.
Yeah.
David, who would you like to come back from Camp Comeback?
Oh, God. Well, not Ovi, unfortunately. I had a lot of hopes for him at the beginning, but not so much now. I would be happy with a David or a Kemi. I liked what I've seen of David, like, since he's come back in the house.
Right.
Obviously, we saw nothing of him before he was banished and then evicted.
Right.
But he has a really good read on the house, so I would like to see that. I have loved Kemi, and I would love to see her. I think she has the balls to, like, stand up and take shots at people.
Right.
And then if Nicole gets evicted, I would like to see her come back. As much as I love Cliff, like, he's not really doing anything for me, so if he gets evicted, sorry, stay out.
Right.
Like, if he gets evicted, I want Kemi or David. If Nicole gets evicted, I would accept anyone except for Ovi.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Ovi.
Wow. Okay. Talk me through it.
Well, he has a power,
Uh-huh.
but I don't think it would get to be used
Yeah.
because just about everyone knows about it, because the Jackson Christies of the world have sort of leaked that it's probably Ovi without giving a lot of details. So he's probably not going to be able to use his power, but he does know to target Tommy and Christy, and he's the only one who has alluded to that to the cameras.
Interesting.
So even though I don't have a ton of hope in Ovi, because he will be targeted, he'll be sort of on an island, but he at least has a game plan.
Yeah.
So if they come in with some sort of safety or something that helps him, he might be able to go after and break up the large group.
Yeah, right.
David obviously has a read, and so I would be interested in him coming back, but I just don't know how he would play. Does he want to, like, align with the large group?
Yeah, right.
He knows who's in power, but does that mean he'll go after them? You know what I mean?
Right.
That would be fine if he gets in just so I can watch and see.
And I will say, like, as far as David goes, I haven't really seen him form meaningful connections with people in the way that I've seen.
Except for Kat.
Except for Kat.
They're very close. But Kat's not going to help him.
No. But I have seen Ovi and Kemi put in work with people who, if they stay in the house, I think those could be meaningful alliances.
Yeah. Except that Kemi is such an island, I don't think she would even get a chance.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know if Nicole stays, I don't even know if Nicole would be ballsy enough to stick with Kemi. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to have Kemi back if there was some sort of group that would back her up. You know what I mean? Cliff is adorable. I'm glad that he didn't go out immediately, but he's not going to do anything.
No.
He's just going to float wherever he is to be safe.
Yeah.
Like you said, Thursday's episode is going to be amazing.
Yes.
We're going to have some sort of eviction, whatever it is.
Right.
And then we're going to get someone back. And I'm hoping that they get some sort of safety with it, because obviously they're just going to be the next in line unless we've made this line in the sand and we have to go after Nick and Bella, Nick and Sam, like however it goes out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right. Well.
So you guys.
Things are happening.
It is. I'm sorry that it's not always pretty.
I know. It's not always enjoyable to watch.
But weed through it and try to find the game.
Stick with it. Now, here's the deal.
Okay.
I have to travel for work, so I
David.
am leaving you guys for the next episode. Really sorry, but
Yes,
I
we're
will
gonna
be
have
back
a special
soon.
guest.
Yes.
We're gonna have Jolene, you guys.
Hello.
This week. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
we'll miss you though.
I hope it's
we won't have
more
too
fun
much fun.
than
No,
when
no,
I'm
of
here.
course not.
Just an equal amount of fun.
Yeah.
Yes. But I will be back for the next time, but I hope you
course.
guys enjoy Sarah and Jolene in the meantime.
Please tell us if you were able to get through this weekend and what you think about everyone's game.
Yes. And how do you think these powers are going to play out and the camp comeback of it all?
I'm starting to think we're not going to see any of these powers play out. I don't think so.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Everyone knows about them.
Yes.
They're useless.
I know. But let us know what you guys think, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.